Okay, the show's going to start in about 2 minutes. If you're watching this on replay at a later time, you can scrub forward to when the timer reaches 0. And if you're just at this video to find the solution or whatever the result was for Luis, you might want to go read the description, because I'll probably have some information there that will get you to your answer quicker. I'll see you in another minute and a half. Okay, and here we go. Welcome everybody. I see Viv and Tony in the chat already. I'm going to go straight over to Luis and we're going to get this on the road. So here I'm unmuting Luis, and there you are. Hi, Luis.
How are you, Doug?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve.
Okay. So you've had a few more attempts, that's putting it mildly, at installing 20H2.
Yeah, this runs automatically every night after I go to sleep, and I keep doing it and reverting back to 1909.
Yeah. Now, from our first session, what I recall, we disabled a bunch of background software, and then you attempted to do the installation, and it goes through the process pretty far, does 1 or 2 reboots, and it at some point displays a message that it's reverting back, although if you're not watching at that moment, you miss it. And there was also a point where you said that it tells you that it's successfully upgraded to 20H2, but then apparently after that, it reverts back to 1909.
Exactly.
And that's still the experience that you're having.
That's it.
So I have a couple of specific things in mind to do with this, that I'm eager to see if this works. And there's a lot of twists and techniques that are out there through Google searches and even YouTube videos about do this, do that. And I think we've evolved past that, because I think Microsoft has covered many of those things. So I'm going to switch over to your computer now and show you the first piece of that. I'm going to try not to take too long to get right to what I'm hoping will be the solution. But I'm going to start with going into appwiz.cpl, because I want to point out to the audience that there's Microsoft has implemented a lot of the standard fixes that are out there. So there is, let's see, where is this? Here, Microsoft Update Health Tools. This little guy has been updating every month for a while. From what I've found, it started around October, just went out to a small number of users, and it automatically does the things like cleaning up the software distribution folder, checking to be sure your computer has enough space on it, checking to see whether you have incompatible software or hardware, So it's been fixing a lot of the problems that have been occurring. So the remaining computers that are still having trouble, I think it's reasonable to say that they are outliers that Microsoft has not found a fix for. It is probably a smaller percentage of computers. Now, through the even the Microsoft website, the Microsoft community, there's a lot of people saying that their computers are failing and they're asking for help. And I was just looking at some more of those yesterday and a little bit today, and they're saying the old things like the software distribution folder and enough drive space, and sometimes they're saying check to see if you have an MBR partition type and try switching to GPT, but we know that 20H2 works fine on an MBR partition. We were working with one yesterday during a live stream. So I was looking for what is not showing up much in or at all. And so what I'm going to go to is the Windows Update log. Now, last time you and I worked on this, Luis, we went to the event viewer and looked at the Windows system logs and logs in there. This is something completely different. I'm going to switch over on my computer to show my notes on this subject. I've got this Windows Update checklist here. My first item is install Microsoft Update Health Tools. Well, we don't have to install it. It's automatically installed. We have update BIOS. I think you already told me that you updated your BIOS, didn't you?
Yes, I had updated the BIOS, and just yesterday I got a message from Dell, and I went through all the hoops that they tell me to go through, and one of them was to update the BIOS again.
Okay. Dell told you to update the BIOS again.
Yeah, they had a newer update.
Okay, did you do that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you did that and still not working. Okay, I know people are putting things in the chat right now, but I'm going to be going straight to the solution that I want to check because I haven't really seen this presented elsewhere, and it really sounds reasonable. When I get to it here, I think you might agree it's worth taking a look at this first. So Windows Update log files is where we're going. So it's done from PowerShell. This command Get-WindowsUpdateLog, and then this next command setupdiag, and this writes a file to the desktop called Windows Update Log, and it's going to show us what's happening in the Windows Update. And I'm hoping this is going to point us to a solution. I'm very tired of there's a bunch of potential solutions out there that people keep saying go back and check this, and if you go on the websites that are promoting those and scroll all the way down to the bottom, check to see if the original person making the complaint actually reports that it was solved, because I haven't been seeing many of those lately. So then another area that I have not seen among the advisories very much is disconnecting all extra hardware, including printers, hard drives, controller cards, uninstalled device drivers. So your problem is occurring after a couple of reboots. So you see that graphic going across the screen. It goes from 0 to 30% and probably does a reboot about 30%.
Yes.
And then it comes back and does graphic again. Do you see that graph going on up to maybe 60% or 100%? Have you watched that? Do you know how far it goes?
Yeah, a couple of days ago, I watched the whole thing because I did it during the daytime, and it went all the way like it had finished correctly. And when it last rebooted, I got the splash screen and my login, and everything seemed fine. But when I checked the version, it still says version 1909.
Okay, got it. So you saw it go all the way to 100% on that graphic. Yes,
I did.
Okay, very good. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the chat. And Luis, we have 17 people watching us right now. Let's see. I'm going to catch up with chat. The folks in the chat have been very active and participating with work that I've been doing for people. But I am going to be going straight to the solution that I want to check first. Viv and Tony say hi. Atex says hi. Paul, hi. Gary. Lunchtime in Northville, sushi today. MI, that's Minnesota. And Viv, this has been a long day, night. It's 3 a.m. here. Viv, what are you doing with us at 3 a.m.? Oh my gosh, you're just so here. I started my last chat session with Doug and Ken in my pajamas 8 a.m. yesterday and back in my pajamas, but have not been near any bed. Oh, good gollies. Dan the Man says, hi. Gary, on a yacht, what kind? Oh, he's asking about the yacht that you're on right now.
Yeah, that's one of those backgrounds.
Yeah, we know. I think he knows it's a virtual background. Gary, let's take a look at disk management. It is the size of the system partition. I had the problem. Yes, that is a problem. That can be a problem. Dell had a secure, but that's not the problem here. I promise you, because the Windows Update Health, it checks for available disk space. I promise you that's not the problem. Gary, Dell had a security update all their computers for the last 10 years. Yes. Luis just told us he's done the most recent Dell updates, even just as recent as yesterday. And then Alan says hello. Now, also for the information of everyone in chat, Gary and Atex both now have my cell phone number, and I've set them up as VIP contacts so that if something's happening, maybe I'm not displaying a screen right, or the live stream goes down, they can let me know by text message, and it should alert me because it's going to be a special ringtone. So here, this one. This doesn't take long to do. Now, Luis, you're not seeing my screen right now because you're not watching on video, but I'm going to Control-C copy this PowerShell command right here, and we're going to do that on Luis's computer. And we'll close this down, and then right-click on the Start button, PowerShell. We don't have PowerShell here. Okay. Gonna do it this way. Windows PowerShell. There we go. And I'm going to right-click and run as administrator. And enter yes. Okay. Then a Control-V here for paste. Get-WindowsUpdateLog. And it goes through several sequences of collecting update information. If I scroll back up here, I think we see, is there another one up here? Yeah, there's another one up here. So each of the update sequences that are still available in the logs produces multiple files, and it has just gathered those files. Now I'm going to go back and capture my other command, the other command, setupdiag, Control-C to copy that, Alt-Tab to go back to Luis's computer and maximize it, Control-V to paste, setupdiag. The term setupdiag is not recognized. Let's go back and see, what did I miss? Did I do something wrong on that? PowerShell, setupdiag. Okay, so here's this Windows Update log files. I don't think there was any download for that. There's setupdiag, but setupdiag is supposed to come with Windows now. there's a download setup diag. Okay, so I'm going to copy that URL, Control C after clicking on it, and then switch back to Luis's computer, minimize PowerShell, go into your browser, go to a new tab, click in the address bar, Control V for paste. Yeah, so there's a download setup diag here. I need to modify my steps to remind me of that. So there's setup diag. Click on that. Answer yes. Oh, all right. Thank you, Aaron. There's the first notification coming through. He says DVR is not working, and that's because I forgot to turn it on. When I turn it on before starting the stream, it always disables it when I start the stream. So DVR is on now. You should be able to confirm that it's working. So here's the setup diag and running, gathering baseline information from setup logs. And it's this one that will produce a file on the desktop that we can go look at. Tells us specifically what's happening during the update. So I'm going to go catch up on chat. Gary, Dell has security update. Got that, Alan. Hello, Viv. I watched Lewis' video again, skipping through it. I do not know what you intend to do. I had this problem with my old Dell laptop, not with 20H2, but earlier feature update. I'm really hoping that this method's going to help us with these updates. But I don't know yet. Viv, I used Create Windows 10 installation media to create USB and booted to USB. Installed the update successfully. I don't think she's referring to a feature update, because my last attempt to boot from the USB media, you cannot perform an upgrade installation. You can only do the upgrade from a USB if you're booted to the Windows C drive. Viv says, I had tried install option the same from Windows site prior to this, but that didn't work. I agree. Ken Stout says, hi, chat and Doug. Ken Stout is DVR set. I have turned on DVR, and I see that Aaron has verified that, ATEX. And Viv, Ken Stout, I can read my second chat. Sam says, hello. Hello to Sam. And Ken replying to Viv, the one about yesterday lesson. ATEX verifies DVR is active. Ken, yep, refreshed and back to start. So that's 10:15 in the chat. Now this thing is processing. Find a Brook download ever. Okay, these are rules that it's processing. We see a whole bunch of no matches. And that has finished. All right. Minimize this, and then that, I'm going to go back to my notes here to see what the name of that was going to be, Windows Update Log. So I'm going to click on any icon on the desktop and type the letter W, and the highlighter bounces around to other icons that start with an update, with a W. Here it is, Windows Update Log. And that shows today's date and time. Double click on that and maximize this and see what it tells us. So we have date and time over here. 5/12 would be yesterday, 7:34 a.m. And scrolling all the way to the bottom. So this is completely different than the event viewer log. This is just for the update. And then this is May 13th. So that's today, 12:40 p.m. Your time right now where you are is what, 1:17?
Yeah.
Okay. So this looks like an update just 20 minutes before we started the stream. Did you attempt an update then?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen anything happen today.
All right, well, that's interesting. So there's a lot of stuff in here, and the date ranges from this is just over a 2-day period. When I tested this on my computer, it gave me several updates and that were apparently in the logs. So here we have a whole bunch of failed stuff. Here's more failed stuff. So a failed notation is not necessarily a condemning item, I suspect. And partly I say that because my log had some failed items. Not this many, however. Now, I'm guessing maybe some of you in chat are interested or willing on trying this on your computers while watching the video. If you are, I'll switch back to that screen to give you a refresher on what the commands are. If you'll just let me know in the chat that you want to try that. So here's the end of 512. So there's the different where it splits between those two dates. End service exit code. And this is what I thought was the area where we might have the most interesting information, because that theoretically should have been the end of the attempt to do the upgrade. So this 14:13, so that would have been 2:13 p.m. your time yesterday.
Right. Was
an update attempted then?
I don't recall. I was.
You don't recall that it was attempting to do the 20H2 at that time?
At some time yesterday, it did. When I was sitting here, it started an update automatically. So it must have been around 2 o'clock or something.
So that's believable then?
Yeah, it's believable.
Okay. All right, so let's see, I'm looking back at chat, 10:15, DVR active, yep, refresh back to start. This says, I have many updates on various computers, it works. Remember how did the same with Greg, but using Rufus and indirect method. Okay, I gotta study that sentence, it's a little broken up. I have many updates on various computers. It works. Remember how did the same with Greg, but using Rufus and indirect method. Well, what I remember with Greg is we did a fresh install of 20H2. It was not an upgrade. He was going to have to reinstall his programs. It was not upgrading his existing operating system to 20H2, but it did prove that his computer would work with 20H2. That's the way I remember what we did. So she was replying there that she was able to boot on the 20H2, but yeah, it's a fresh install. If you go to the point and you select the option for doing an upgrade install, it tells you have to reboot into Windows and launch it from there. Boy, if I'm wrong, if my memory's wrong there, you just put me in the rest home. Okay, so looking back at this, May 12th, service exit code. If I were to place a bet, I'm going to say this is going to give us nothing. I'm pressing Control-C to copy that. Windows key to bring up your taskbar. Google Chrome, new tab, pasting that into Google search field, WSUS updates failing to install on clients. From 2016, I'm not even going to look at it. Windows 10 machine having issues installing updates. See, this exit service code could be very generic. 2019, 2007, that just sounds very generic. Idle timer unit, test hook, miscellaneous, agent, earliest future timer found. So if we're not finding anything that's a clear condemnation of something, then we're going to go back and pursue other alternatives. So here's the most recent failed. So it's certainly believable that at this most recent string of failures, that the rest of these log items were perhaps recovering from the failed installation. We don't see verbiage that is an obvious support of that idea, but let's go up and look at some of these failed messages better. So here's one full string of messages. I'm going to start at the top of this failed. Making request, URL, update Microsoft. So this is a request to an update area on Microsoft. Send request, failed. Send request for server file information. Library download error. Boy, that sure sounds like a problem. Send request to server. Now you have a couple of VPN softwares installed, right?
No, but I before I did anything, I shut down the VPN and I disabled my antivirus, not for an hour, but
Okay.
disable the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I made sure everything was disabled.
Library download error. Will retry. Send request for file
I
server
even
file
shut
information.
down the firewall.
Okay. Library download error, will retry, send request, server file information, update Microsoft, get download on weak SSL certificate. Method failed. Boy, this really sounds significant to me. Failed to resolve federated service ID, failed to execute. Yeah. Let's go back up and look what was before this. Retrieving SLS response from server. Revision check is on with environment ID. Get response for server's power state change from unknown to AC. Is this a laptop?
Yeah, it's a laptop, but it's on
Okay.
HP.
Okay, just yes or no. Receive power state change notification. It's curious that it's getting power state change notifications because you unlikely were connecting or disconnecting AC at that time.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look at chat and see what thoughts people have on this. 10:15 is where I left off. Jeff, you're correct about launching setup on a USB after booting into Windows on AC. Okay. Paul says he would do a clean install. Yeah, that certainly is a viable way to do. And with a client computer in my business clients, I would do that. But when we're pursuing what my interest here for this channel is try to find the fix, not a workaround, not a give up and clean install. The efficient, proper thing to do if you're working for a paying client, yeah, would do a clean install because it's going to take less time probably to rebuild the whole thing. However, if our work here results in finding a quicker, more correct surgical solution, we could be performing a good service to the entire Windows community, and that would be a fun thing to be involved in. Viv says, okay, bad example. I will type more slowly. I've done many Windows updates using the created USB to do various computers. Updates, it gives you the option to do update and save your files. Well, that's why I tried that in the first place, because I recollected doing that, but it did not have that option when I tried to do it. So, since you're insisting that you've been doing that, I'll take another look at it, Viv. I do trust you. You've earned credentials with me. Viv to Jeff, you can do it that way, but better without Windows and all the drivers loaded. Better to use it from boot USB. Yes, that is what I was trying to accomplish. I believe it was with Greg, to put in a USB from the media creation tool, boot the computer on that USB device, and do an upgrade installation from there. But when we did it, it gave us a message saying that we have to do an upgrade installation, we have to boot on the C drive and then run it from USB. But Viv is insisting that she's doing it successfully. I'm going to take another look at it, Viv, just because you have credentials with me. But that was not my experience, clearly. And also looks like it was not Jeff's experience. All right, so there's no comments in chat about these things. This is the update log for trying to update to 20H2, and it's showing us these indications of failing to download these things. Now, I know you told us just now, Luis, that you have turned off and disabled items, but you have not uninstalled them. And I have had prior experiences where uninstalling a suspect conflict has solved problems. Do you have any objection to uninstalling your VPNs and your antivirus products?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, another thing that we haven't talked about yet, how about what devices do you have connected to the computer or installed in the computer that maybe we can disconnect? Do you have a printer connected?
Well, I have wireless printers that are configured in the system, but
Not interested. Not interested. Just connected USB. That's all I care about there. Do you
not
have
at all.
Do you have any other USB devices connected?
The only USB device I have connected is the mouse RF, the little thing that you control the mouse with.
Oh, the transceiver for the mouse.
Right, that's
You have a wireless mouse? Okay, that's all right. That's okay.
basically it.
Okay, your keyboard, is it wired or is it wireless?
No, the keyboard is part of the computer. It's the computer that,
Oh, that's right, it's a laptop, sorry.
laptop computer.
All right, that's fine. Then then you have no adapter cards installed in the computer since it's a laptop. Okay, that's pretty good. Now let's go look at some other things that people were asking about. I'm just going to minimize this. Now this thing about failing to download, my strongest suspicion there has to do with antivirus products or other security products and even the VPNs, because they're all concerned about keeping your computer safe. If they somehow are misinterpreting this, not saying that they ever intended to block content from Microsoft, but we know that there are tons and tons of incompatibilities and conflicts that Microsoft and other software vendors are constantly updating their products for, and they don't catch them all. If they caught them all, then they would never have to do an update. So we know they're going to have more updates next week because there's still things that they haven't found. All right, so let's bring this pictures back down in size. I'm going to minimize this. Now, to satisfy the questions about disk space, we'll go there, because of course if you're out of disk space, that's going to be a download problem. Right click on the C drive, properties. So here we got 664 gigabytes of free space. I'm sure somebody's probably got on their mind the software distribution folder. I'm very skeptical of that, because if that was a problem, the update should not run. Although, let me eat my words there. Since this was a download failure, that is still a potential. If we delete the software distribution folder, then it's going to have to re-download all of that again. And you've already told us in the prior video that that takes a long time to do. So let's go look at the software distribution folder, download, and I'm just perusing around here looking at dates of downloaded files. I'm going to sort this folder in date order, May 12th, and the oldest is May 11th. So certainly nothing seriously old there, but to increase our odds, what we would do is delete. We can actually delete the entire software distribution folder, because it'll recreate that when it downloads. So we may come back to do that. Now, another thing that's on my list of potential conflicts and is not talked about much in the Google searches that are kind of stale is device drivers. Now, not in this case, not saying are your device drivers up to date, but perhaps any unusual devices to delete the drivers. Now, I really don't feel that's much of an issue for you, because this is an all original equipment Dell computer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the only different thing it has is the SSD drive.
Okay, that's what you've installed. That's not original. Samsung SSD 860 QVO. Now, all the people in chat, we're pretty familiar with that drive, and we're just not going to suspect that at all. Now, there is a firmware update that maybe hasn't been applied. Do you know if you've applied a firmware update for that?
I don't know, because I haven't run the Magic, Disk Magic, I think it's the utility.
Yeah, Samsung Magician is called. So that's another thing that we may do.
It's installed on the system.
Oh, Samsung Magician is installed?
Yeah, it's on the system.
Okay. All right. And let's see, looking back at chat, there's a few things that have come in. Let's see, going up, give an example, gives you the option to update and save your files, and to Jeff, you can do it that way, but better without Windows and all the drivers loaded, better to use it from the boot USB, and that's what I was hoping would work. Again, it did not work for me. I'll try it again. Lance, evening, do they have an update ISO made with media creation tool on USB? No, to answer that, we don't at this point, but that's on our radar, put it that way. Gary uses the word dongle. Maybe he's referring to the transceiver, that just giving the other word for it. Viv, Lance, for you, not yet. Dave installed it on 12/11 without issues. Must have been lucky. Well, no, Dave, I think most computers are installing the update just fine. I don't think it's particularly lucky. I think it's just unlucky, the ones that can't. Gary says check the partition, and Gary says check hidden drivers. Lance had issues on certain laptops that wouldn't update to 20H2. created and ran the setup with network disconnected, and it installed successfully. That rings a bell of familiarity. Network. Now this log that's telling us of a failure to download. See, if we do the update from a USB, that USB should have everything that's needed. By the time it wants to restart the computer to install the update, I thought it's already downloaded everything that it has needed. When it's starting up, it would be perhaps trying to validate your Microsoft account. Do you log in with a Microsoft account or a local user account?
I don't have a Microsoft account. I just use my
local. You just use what?
When I set up the computer, I just use my regular email for it.
Okay, well that sounds like a Microsoft account. When you use your own email address, what you're doing is creating a Microsoft account with your email address.
That's it.
Yeah, so if we go here to sign in, yes, you are logging in with a Microsoft account. There's a Microsoft account that uses this as the username.
Okay.
So on the restart, it may be trying to do that. Well, we've kind of got a lot of things on the plate right now for trying. What's all this? Sending shutdown notification. That's not of interest. There's a bunch of fails. Can we get back to that? I'm not, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not totally worried about failures because there's a lot of things that Microsoft is trying to make available in case your computer needs it. So a failure may just mean that your computer doesn't need it. But now here's another effective power state. It's concerned about power state. But those are answering yes. So in my research, which I would not call extensive, I have not found anybody examining this log for explanations of why an update fails. Now here we're up at the top, and so this was the beginning. So this looks like it was trying to do an update from 7:34 a.m. yesterday. And do those times increment all the way through to that 12 p.m. I think it was?
Yeah, well, it keeps trying it, and you know, it sits there and it says restart needed, and you hit restart, and then it goes into the update phase, and then it runs all through the update phase until it, you know, finishes, and then it comes back and says, you know, the second time I saw it, it didn't give me the going back to the original OS. One of the times I saw it, and it says Windows could not be installed, going back to the original whatever. It's so fast that you cannot even.
Windows Update operation stopped. Does use network. It's not at background priority. That kind of points back to that idea about trying it without being connected to network. And you're connected to your network wireless, correct?
Yep. Yes, I am.
Right. Yeah, so I'm feeling pretty attracted to running the update from a USB memory stick with Windows booted, since that has not been attempted, and I know that that method works. I understand, Viv, that you've had different experience. Do you have a USB memory stick that we could use?
Probably have an empty one somewhere around here.
It would have to be at least 8 gigabytes, I believe.
Yeah, they're all 32s or 64s, but
Okay.
let me see if I can find them, because I got all of them. All of them I have around me are used.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and look around for that. I'm gonna catch up with Chad a little bit.
Yeah, let me see if I have an empty one there that I can
All right.
use.
Let's see. Okay, so Dave says I had Magician installed, hasn't caused a conflict. I wasn't asking about that in terms of conflict. I was asking that in terms of whether there might be a firmware update that should be installed on this Samsung SSD. Jeff says I used a USB made with Rufus from 20H2 ISO file I created with media creation tool from Microsoft. Okay, Jeff, I'm not understanding why you made it with Rufus, but you created it with media creation tool from Microsoft. Why are you using Rufus for 20H2? I think 20H2 is what the media creation tool gives us. And then Gary says distribution folder is where Windows updates are. Yes, I'm aware of that. And also aware of the technique of deleting that folder before reattempting. But I really am doubtful that used to be really effective. That used to fix a lot of issues. But now it's the Windows Update Health tool checks for that. And then Viv says, what this happened with my laptop, it did full update on boot at logon. It takes time and rolls back the computer back to the prior date. Okay. Okay, I've got to read that again. What this happened with my laptop, it did full update on boot at logon. It takes its time and rolls back the computer to prior to the update. Wow, I'm really struggling with understanding that, Viv. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm being dense and just reading the sentence wrong. So if you need to, sorry, retype it. Okay, boy. So many things we can do here. I'm leaning towards using the media creation tool to create 20H2 on that memory stick, and then launch it from that memory stick, and then disconnect from Wi-Fi. Of course, we lose connection at that point. And the software distribution folder, since we're actually performing the update from the memory stick, I'm inclined to delete the software distribution folder. I think it's totally irrelevant at that point because the files are on the USB memory stick. We don't have any other drivers to deal with. We do have software that we can uninstall. Now I'm going to go take a look at what's running in the background in Systray, because our last session with Luis, we disabled a lot of things from starting up, and that did not solve the problem. So there's CCleaner, there's Brother Control, there's Cisco Web Meetings. This one I think is that a VPN? I think it is. And then this one was Avast. So there's still a fair amount of things there. And then this was a Brother. And all this clutter that Brother Printers puts on just drives me nuts. In fact, I usually don't install all their extra fluff, and just do the basic printing driver. How are we doing with that USB, Luis?
Well, I got one here that I think we can use.
All right.
I think this one can be used. Because I at some point I tried to create one of those bootable media.
Yeah.
So let me hook it up here and see if this is the one.
So then Lance to Viv, did the update try to download updates during the install? Gary says, check to see what installed in programs and features. Yes, I do want to do that. So that was here in chat, 1046. So we've talked about a lot of things that are on our radar to try. And as we're moving forward here, if you sense that I'm neglecting one of them, feel free to speak up about it in chat.
I think this is a Windows recovery USB.
Yeah, that's a recovery USB. So that's not what we want. Let me have the mouse for a minute.
Sure.
All right, so I'll right click on the E drive and choose properties. And that is a 32 gigabyte. And you had told me at the beginning of our first session that you had made a full backup and made a recovery pen drive, thumb drive, whatever you want to call it. And you said you told us a few minutes ago that you have several of these memory sticks. Do you want to? I'm inclined to not use this one since it will do a recovery reboot on your computer just in case. Okay. Do you have another one?
Yeah, I probably have a couple of them here. Let me see if I can
go ahead and try another one.
Let me try another one.
And maybe mark this one as a recovery.
Oh, they're all colored, different colors.
As long as you know what it is.
Here, this is a 32 gig. This one has stuff in it, but I can get rid of it.
Okay.
I can copy it elsewhere and just, clean it up.
Yeah. And you've got plenty of room on your C drive. We can copy it to a folder on your C drive. That's fine.
Right.
It's less than 3 gigabytes.
This ISO that I have here, I don't even have to copy it because I can download it anytime.
Right, you can download that again, and that's the 3 gigabytes right there.
Exactly.
So I'm guessing maybe these are all you care about.
That's it.
Okay, so I selected those all, right click and copy. And then how about a subfolder of your documents folder?
Yeah, or just put it in downloads or wherever.
All right. Well, because you might, if you do a disk cleanup, it might delete your downloads folder. So I think it'd be better here, right. Frankly. So create a new folder here.
Name it PNY.
PNY, which would be the name of that USB.
That's a type of USB I got there.
And you'll recognize by that what the content is. So then right click in the blank area and choose paste.
Right.
And so we'll use that one for creating an installation tool, installation media. All right, so 1046 on chat. Lance to Viv, did the update try to download updates? Okay, Gary is saying, check to see what's installed. Yes. Oh, there's nothing new in the nothing new in the chat. Okay, so we'll go check that. Now here we've got, that's the documents folder. Then we'll go back here. Now when we create a bootable media using the media creation tool, it's going to wipe all this out. So I'm not going to bother deleting those. Then let's go Windows key R to bring up the run line. appwiz.cpl is already in there because we've done that recently, I guess. And so then here's the programs that are installed. So I'd asked you about uninstalling some stuff that is remotely suspect. And I'm going to ask you to be lenient with me about disagreeing. I mean, that's easy. If you can reasonably reinstall these things, then I'd ask you to let us uninstall it. So AnyDesk, can we uninstall that?
I can probably, I will lose all of the computers that I have linked to it, but.
No, I don't want to do that. That's right. You support your clients with that. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's not high on my suspect list. Avast is kind of high on my suspect list.
Well, yeah, that's the antivirus that I disable and get rid of it. And then
But disabling it may not be sufficient.
Right.
So,
we can install.
Yeah. I'll uninstall that. And then we'll just go down the list. So I'm making a note here of what we're uninstalling is Avast. Configure your Avast installation. There's uninstall. I did click that, didn't I? Try again.
The passive mode will turn off your automatic protection and let you decide manually, whatever. Just click it again and see what happens. There you go.
I clicked harder. Attempt is made, yes. We want to continue. Are you uninstalling for good? It doesn't. They don't really care what we answer. And
okay, that one's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna call this because we're suspecting it might be causing an issue. We don't know that. How long have you been using?
3 or more years.
Can I get past this survey? Uninstalling. There, it's uninstalling. I'm not even going to click send survey. It's uninstalling now. Okay, so moving this off to the side, and then BlueStack Apps Player. I'm not worried about that.
That's an Android emulator that you can run and.
Okay, that's fine. Brother driver deployment. I am interested in uninstalling Brother, but that's not high on my list. CCleaner, any kind of utility such as this, I'd like to remove them. That's easy to reinstall if you want it back. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, let me write it down here.
Yeah.
CClean.
Let's see, so this was Avast was successfully uninstalled. I'm going to say restart later. So then here's CCleaner, uninstall. Now we're being a bit aggressive at trying to take several options for fixing your update problem. Now the downside of that is we won't know which of these was actually the sole problem, if it was one. Cisco meetings, I'm not too concerned about that. Cyber Power, that's all right. Dell Support Assist, no, I'm not worried about those. Dropbox should be okay. I don't recall seeing Dropbox in the system tray. Maybe we disabled that?
No, it's there. It shows
there?
up. Yeah, it shows up every so often. I can see it there.
I don't see it there now.
Yeah, it's there. It's there right here.
Was it there?
See right here.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Silly me. I was looking at the overflow list only. Okay, so CCleaner is gone. Dell stuff, Dropbox, FileZilla. It's all right. GIMP. I don't know GIMP. What's that?
That's a graphic. That's what they call a poor man's Photoshop.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just an application program.
It's an open source graphic editor. Very,
Okay.
very good.
There's,
It's very
there's
good.
another brother item.
Yeah, that's a brother laser printer I have installed here.
Java is a recent update. K-Lite.
Those are
That's,
codec support packs that that work with different products.
yeah, okay, so probably for video or audio or something.
Malwarebytes is another one you might want to
Yeah,
get.
yeah, I want to get rid of that. Okay, 1046. There's some updates here, and that's uninstalling. So catching up a little bit on chat at 10:53. Viv, I'll correct when the problem happened from Windows Update with my laptop. It did a complete update, including reboot and doing percentage. The final step is to log on, and which stage before desktop shows up, Windows slowly uninstalls the update. This is what I think Luis is describing. Yes, I agree completely. Yeah, and I've seen that happen myself. Yes, that's it. And I think Viv, you're telling us that you solved that by booting from the media creation tool on a USB and successfully performing an upgrade installation from that USB memory stick. I think that's what you're telling us. And I think I'm getting an idea in my mind why my experience might have been different, because I think there's a point at which you're doing that where you can select to perform an upgrade installation as opposed to just installing. And if you choose installing rather than upgrade, then subsequently it offers you the opportunity to install with keeping your files. And I think the verbiage at that point implies that you might have to reinstall some programs, but that maybe that's not the case. That's kind of ringing a bell that I have experienced that. So maybe I made a different choice at that step, and that's why your experience was different than mine, Viv, which lends more credence to trying that. So Malwarebytes successfully removed. Yes, and then no, we don't want to do your survey. And then Alt-Tab to get back to programs and features. That was Malwarebytes, making a note that we did that. Then, continuing, here's this Microsoft Update Health Tools, which according to their documentation does a lot of the fixes that some of us have previously found to be the solutions. Beam your screen, that's okay. Scam recall. Multiple image resizer, not worried about that. PR tax, is that some kind of tax? Yeah, those different years.
That's the one I use to file my taxes with.
Okay. Nuance paper port is fine. PDF, Open CPN. Is this one of your
chart plotter navigation program?
Say again?
It's a chart plotter navigation program that interfaces with the GPS.
Okay, not worried about that. Opera paper port, a couple PDF items, Raspberry Pi imager. Oh, you're into Raspberry Pi, are you?
Yeah, I got a couple of them.
Oh yeah, of course. You're a programmer.
I got a couple of those Raspberries, and they work fine. You know, I hook them up to any HDMI TV, and you got a full-fledged computer there for $65.
Okay. Signature 995.
Those are part of the PDF 995 suite, which is it lets you mess around and create PDFs.
Okay, fine.
Surfshark, you can take
Yeah.
those Surfsharks off. Those are part of the VPN that I
That's
have.
VPN components. Okay, and it's interesting. There's 3 different sharks, all recent dates. All right, yeah, we'll take all those out.
Yeah, those I can replace very easily.
For Windows. Are you sure you want to uninstall? Yes.
That's a very good VPN because you can run it on many devices. You know, it doesn't have any limit.
Okay.
And it will run on Windows, on Linux, on basically on anything, on your phone if you want it. Android.
Even on my toaster, probably.
Probably.
Okay, so, whoops, I forgot. I think I might have missed a couple. The last one I had written down was
You can get rid of the
Malwarebytes.
Sophos thing that I haven't used in many years. The next,
You haven't used that one. Okay.
no, that used to be a VPN. I used to.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Before I do that, I want to take a look. Let's see. Yeah, 2019.
Yeah. I even got it off of the startup. You know, it used to start up automatically. I got rid of it and I just let it sit there. But it won't hurt to get rid of it.
This is interesting. Why? Seems odd to me that there's a Windows 10 update listed in here from 2019.
Yeah.
Although, now wait a minute, you're on 1909. All right, that'll probably go away once you're updated. VLC is okay. Vulkan runtime libraries.
I have no idea what Vulkan time, that might be part of the,
I think it's a support for something that you are using.
probably for the VPN we just got rid of, because look at the date, it's 8/3/2019.
Yeah. Win32 disk imager. Do you know what you use that for?
I think it's used to create the little flash drives for the Raspi.
Oh, okay. I'm not worried about that. Winamp, Wondershare, DVD Creator, Wondershare stuff, Zoom. All right. I feel pretty okay with what we've taken out of there. The only other thing that I'm interested in is the brother stuff, but I don't have a strong reason for that. I just don't like their stuff
Yeah,
because
well,
they put so much clutter in there.
I know they put a lot of clutter on system, but you know, I use their printers very much, and they're very good, very reliable. You can get rid of all that brother stuff. I can go ahead and install.
Yeah, you can put it back in, and that is wireless connection to it.
As a matter of fact, I was reading through one of the logs, and I was getting some kind of issue with a brother printer.
All right, so it might be a good idea to get a fresh driver for that anyway.
It used to say that some update for brother was pending, and another one for HP was pending. So I started. I went to the devices and printers and knocked off everything that was sitting there that had to do with HP or with brother. So now I only had 2 printers.
Okay.
But it was acting the same way.
Yeah, with all the stuff that they put on, they want to let you know that it's running low on ink or running low on paper,
Right.
and notify you when it's finished printing. And when you go to their website to download, if you look around a little bit, you should be able to find basic printer driver.
Exactly.
So it doesn't install all that other clutter. Restart later. And then this one. Please wait, current program. So we want to come back and it might automatically take out that one as well. Okay, checking chat. Gary, is Windows Defender enabled or disabled? We'll look at that in a minute. Avast does not go without a fight. Viv says, Nick Tao, yes, I had to download uninstall to get rid of all of it. And Nick Tao, the ads in the start menu are hilarious. I wasn't even paying attention. Start menu. Oh, I guess some of these are advertisements. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, kind of the crap that comes into Windows.
Yeah, all crap. Now, you don't care about any of that stuff, right?
Nope.
Yeah. What I always do when I'm setting up a computer is
You're breaking up. You're breaking
right
up.
click and unpin. To download ads in the start menu. Darren just in from work. Get rid of Intel Rapid Storage. He has Samsung disk, and you might want to check later BIOS is running an AHCI. His Dell laptop sound like Min. I now have Inspiron 5570. Okay. There's a few different thoughts there in the sentence, I think. Get Intel Rapid. Look, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Drop the remote control. That's curious. Why did you do that? Okay. Intel Rapid Storage. We don't need that because of your Samsung, according to Viv. So she says, get rid of, and by the way, Viv is I'm getting to know her better, but she's substantial computer tech.
You got the Barilla thing there sitting there still.
Yeah, we haven't restarted yet.
Yeah, but it's still up here. This one.
Oh, that's right. We didn't try that one yet. We didn't do that one yet because it's a different name.
Yeah.
So it's listed there different.
Yeah,
it still doesn't want to do that until the program is finished uninstalling, and I think that's waiting for a reboot. Yeah. So we can't do that now. So trying to make my way through this comment again. Get rid of Intel Rapid Storage. Okay, clear. He has Samsung disk, clear. And you might want to check later BIOS is running ACHI. His Dell laptop sounds like Min. I now have Inspiron. Okay, so she's wanting to be sure your BIOS is running. Is it ACHI? I thought it was AHCI. Not important. Yeah, so this Intel Rapid Storage. And then other Intel stuff. 2020, 2021. Now you did a recent Dell update taking all their recommendations, right?
Yes, I did, and everything was successful.
That would include what they want from Intel on your computer. All right. And it won't let us do that either. I got you some. Oh, Gary says I got you some subscribers right now. I have 6 more people watching you in my office. Cool, Gary. Thank you. And hello, 6 more people in Gary's office. Let's see. I need to pop out that chat so it's easier for me to deal with. There we go. So I think we're due for a reboot. Now, AHCI, I think we can see that from MS Info. Take a look there, see if we can answer that. Oh, well, how about that? Got a text from a client. Started his computer updating last night, and it's still working on it. Actually, he says, the computer won't start. It turns on, but won't take me to the login screen. Please give me a call when you get a chance. What can I give him by text right now? I'm having some issues. He says, I'm having some issues with my computer. I left it updating with Microsoft Updates last night, and this morning the computer won't start. It turns on, but it won't take me to the login screen. Okay, let's tell him this. Pull the power plug, wait 10 seconds, plug the power back in, start the computer. Period. If the first attempt does not get it started, then do that again, possibly 3 to 4 times to get to a repair option. Period. I won't be able to call you for a while. Period. Let me know how it goes. Period. Okay. And if the first attempt does not get it started. All right, let's see how it does. Okay. What I want to see in here is, isn't there a place in here where it tells us that you are AHCI, or the other options are what? RAID or IDE, I think. Yeah, I don't think I know well enough where to go in here for that. Let's see, so what we're asking about is storage drive, so we'll be in here. That doesn't tell us. Disks, that's the USB that you have connected. Down here is the Samsung. No, nothing there indicating. SCSI and IDE. I think system information was created many versions ago of Windows, and I just don't think it's given us what we need here. Closing that. All right. We have yet to make the media creation tool, but we're due for a restart and try to uninstall some other things. So I'm gonna restore this down, and I'll click on reboot here. So when we're gonna lose the Zoom connection right away, but my remote connection should come right back up. So when the screen comes back on, log in if you have to, and you could go ahead and start resuming the Zoom connection, or you might see that I'm doing it. Either way is fine, okay?
Yeah.
All right, here's a click for reboot and reconnect. Click OK. And it looks like he's frozen. Nope, you're still moving.
Well, I'm moving here.
Yeah, I still see you. Is it, you got any messages on screen?
I got a message here that says connect. This report will be with you shortly. Remote control.
Oh, there it is. There it is. I still got that. Okay, I can click that's okay here because the way I did that restore. If I do a restart by using the Windows button on his computer, then I don't have to do that confirmation. So let's see, this takes me back here. Got you some subscribers, nothing new since that. 16 people watching right now, plus 6 more people watching in Gary's office. Seriously? People in your office are watching on YouTube? Wow, okay. I hope no one's going to get in trouble for that. All right, so that update log file, what it really told us is that there was a problem with downloading from Microsoft at that stage of the process. So the things that I was interested in is anything that might be blocking that download, which was some of the things that we installed. We'll delete the software distribution folder, but I really don't think that that's likely to be a source of the trouble. We'll disconnect from Wi-Fi when he does his next upgrade attempt, and we'll do the upgrade attempt from his USB drive. And I'm understanding Viv's testimony that she's been able to boot off of that, but I want to try first just from launching the setup program from the USB stick, and then I'll investigate deeper into that issue. All right, then his computer shows rebooting right now. You're not seeing that. Making a couple other adjustments on my monitoring computer, and then here it looks like he's coming back to us. The launch remote control session button just became available. Click on that. What's going on? Is the stream all right? Yeah, looks like it is. Looking at stream health. Says healthy. Oh, at 11:09 there was a problem. And that's the last thing I have in chat is 11:09. Oh, are we having trouble? Got your subscribers right now. The YouTube Studio says it's working, but my computer that I'm monitoring on is just showing me a spinning circle. Refreshing the screen, and it looks like it's back. And then I'm seeing a comment that the stream is back, popping out the chat again. And there's Luis, he's joining with video. And back into chat. So let me look back at my, where was that stream else? All right, thank you. So we had a little trouble with the stream. And so 11:09 in the chat, I saw, last comment I see is Gary, got you some subscribers right now. Then the next chat from Nick Tao, chat in stream is fine. And I got my monitoring computer showed that there was trouble happening. Let's see. Oh, you're making adjustments there. Go ahead with that, Luis. I've got a reply from my client. We'll take a look here. He says, I've done what you requested, but it didn't work. I have the following options. And he's got that blue screen options of troubleshooting. And he's looking at, looks like he's looking at reset this PC. And he's got, no, he went into advanced options. Good. And then there's startup repair or startup settings, command prompt, uninstall updates, system restore, and image recovery. I'm going to have him do system restore. Oh, then he went into another level, continue, troubleshoot, choose an option, Which one did he go into? Looks like he went into startup repair. Choose an option. I'm going to tell him back up and do system restore. Back up and do system restore. He might misunderstand my words back up. So just do system restore. Okay. Let's go minimize. Luis, are you with me on audio?
I am.
Okay. So we're coming back to your computer here. Let's minimize.
You can shut it down. You can shut it down.
Yeah.
You can close the Outlook application now.
Yeah. So I'll right click on Outlook and close that. You probably went in there to get the Zoom credentials.
Yeah.
All right. So Windows key R, appwiz.cpl. Just typed app. When I saw it in the drop-down list, I pressed the down arrow key to select it and then enter.
The other driver is still there.
This is the deployment wizard. I don't think we were able to uninstall that. We uninstalled another item. My client is asking me, will system restore delete my files saved on the PC's hard drive? No, it will not. It only restores the operating system. Period. You will probably see a recent date, yesterday or today perhaps. It does not change any data files. It only restores the operating system. Period. Could take about 20 minutes to complete. Period. Reading my text, no it will not. It only restores the operating system. You will probably see a recent day, yesterday or today perhaps. It does not change any data files, only restores the operating system. Could take 20 minutes to complete and send. Do you want to completely remove? Yes. How did you know? And click finish. All right, didn't tell us anything about restarting. There was another brother item that did not start with the word brother. There it is, HL. And let's also sort by publisher. No other brother items. And then uninstall. Answer yes. And my client says, okay, got it. I will do that. And looking at chat, Nick Tao says chat and stream is fine. Nick Tao to Luis, are you running a Pi-hole DNS blocker?
Nope.
Nope is your answer. Do you want to completely remove? Clicking OK. So now I'm wondering what's going on with that client's computer, because I think that's one of the computers that I checked to see that it was on 20H2. No, his update should have been a minor update from yesterday. Those were not taking long to do. Okay, so restart computer now, let's say later. But have to keep in mind that we do owe it a restart. Then was there anything else we were wanting to uninstall that we weren't able to uninstall because of the requirement for a reboot? I don't think so.
Well, the only thing that you tried to uninstall was the Intel Rapid Storage Technology.
Oh yes, it is still there. That's right. We weren't able to do that. Now, well, let's still...
Is that the same thing?
Yeah, because we just did a brother item that is requiring a reinstall, and it won't let us uninstall anything else because, again, brother's kind of demanding. All right, well, let's do another restart. This time I'm going to go to the Windows button in the bottom left corner, and now here we got that yellow orange dot, and that's because it's wanting to do the updates. Now here, during our first session, there was another, oh, it is here. There's the option to restart. And we proved in that instance that we can restart and it does not install these updates.
Right.
Now, however, we are intending to do your next 20H2 update using that USB memory stick. So rather than keeping that there, I'm going to do something else and just get those updates out of our way. I'm just moving your Zoom thumbnail so it's hiding behind the other thumbnails. So Windows key and then update space settings and press enter. Now you had said that this has been trying to do the update every day, and I think you may have missed the instruction in my video where you can stop it from doing that.
No, I stopped it, and I had stopped it, but I just let it run until, it kept doing. Right. See what? Wait, go back a second.
Going back.
Okay, hold on. It's not back yet.
See
what it says here? Brother printer pending or download, and then the HP printer pending download. I don't know how to get rid of those two. See?
Okay, we'll take a look at those. We want to be sure this is clean before we try to do your 20H2.
Right, those are the only two things that I have noticed that are sticking there, and I haven't been able to get rid of them.
Okay.
I don't even have an HP printer anymore.
Okay. So then I'm going to go into advanced options and come down here and choose pause until, and this menu has been pretty consistent. You can always go like a month and a half out.
Right, I saw that we can go all the way up to June 17th.
Yeah, well, not a month and a half, but about a month. Doesn't really matter at this point which date that we choose. I'm just going to pick one of these at random. But then after picking that date, let's see, I'm going to hit the Windows key to bring up the status bar. We no longer have the orange dot out here, and we don't have the orange dot on the power button.
Right.
So all we did was select a date in here. That was enough to get Windows to give up.
Now it says updates are paused.
Yeah.
But see, now when it says updates are paused, you don't get the message from the printer download thing.
Right, because that's paused too.
Right.
All right, so here I'm going to the Windows button and then click on power and then click on restart. So, oh, you know what? Let's, how did I do? You've got your Zoom meeting here. Instead of going back to your email link, you should be able to just launch the Zoom meeting here. And you might not know the passcode when we get to that point. I'll put it in for you. But I think you'll find that's a little more direct. Okay, so Windows key, power, restart. All right, and then take a look at chat. Where are we at? And the only thing I got there is ZVI Manner message retracted. NICTAL, was there a driver update service in software? Well, there's Dell support items. I'm not sure quite what you're asking there, NICTAL, but the driver updates for Dell, he recently did. He did those yesterday to bring them as current as possible. And there was a more recent BIOS update via Dell that he installed. Okay, so then that was 11:31. And NICTAL is saying something under S. Okay, we'll look at the S section closer when we come back up, because we are going back into the app wizard. All right, what was the last thing from my client? Yeah, he just said, okay, I'll do that. That was at 11:25 a.m. That was almost 10 minutes ago, so expecting to hear something back from him in 10 or 15 minutes. There is the launch remote control session button available. Click on that. And he's got that Zoom open, but if we go over here and click on the Zoom application, and then join, and I'm going to take him off camera. What I do is drop down list for meeting IDs because it might show up somebody else's meeting ID, and then join, and then the passcode, and join meeting. Join with video. And you are back.
Yeah, and this thing will bring up any of those backgrounds automatically.
And last time you had implied an interest in changing that default.
Yeah,
right?
they changed it to the none, and now it came up with the Santorini thing again.
Yeah, but if you change it during a session, that's only
only for a
changing
session?
for that session. So
Okay.
if we come over to the Zoom application, can we get back to that from here? Yeah, I think the way to do that is, let's see, you changed, choose virtual background from here. But if we go to video settings, and then background and filters, and then
way up.
all the way up,
None.
And then is there a button here for default? Now, have you already done it in here? Or did you do it
Well,
from
no, I didn't do it from there. I did. Yeah, I didn't do it.
I think doing it from here will change your default for every session. If not, then you need to come into here before connecting to a session. And that's done from that Zoom app where I was selecting the credentials. Okay, so there we got rid of their background. We'll minimize that and bring this down so it hides behind the thumbnails that I have on the screen, and then minimize this chat, and then Windows key R, press enter because appwiz.cpl is still in the run line. And let's go get that Intel character, Intel Rapid Storage Technology. And somebody else in chat had asked about something in the S section. So let's go down. Whoops, I got to resort these by name. I had them sorted by publisher. All right, something under S, a driver update utility, those are mostly suspicious to me. S. There's Samsung Magician, SD card, signature. Oh, Smart Buy drivers and services. Yeah, good catch. I'd be suspicious of that. Do you have specific awareness of that being there, Luis?
If it's there, it's because, see, look at the date, 12/12/2020. I don't know who put it there, but physically I didn't put it there.
Well, let's sort by publisher and see if there's anything else. Rivet Networks, there is not. Let's sort by install date, see if there's anything else. December 12th will give us a clue who put it there. No, nobody there, so I'm going to sort back by name. And yeah, I don't like any of these third-party driver update services. That's what this looks like. Okay.
Let me look it up here and on my other computer. Let me see what it says.
Well, if we're going to take the time to look it up, we might as well show it to everybody.
Smart Byte.
Yeah, Smart Byte.
Drivers and services.
Drivers and services, all it says. Smart Byte enter. So beware of Smart Byte. Okay. If anyone has really fast internet and when you do speed tests, you only get 100 megabytes. See if Dell has slipped the Smart Byte application onto your PC.
Yeah, it's something that Dell installed because I didn't install it.
All right.
What it is and how to remove it says here. Dell PCs, if you're experiencing slow internet speed, the Smart Byte utility may be to blame. So we can get rid of that.
Yeah, and whether it's currently
beware of Smart Byte.
Culprit or not, I'm inclined to just go ahead and get rid of it. Now, I'm a little reluctant to start with uninstalling that because if I uninstall that, then that Intel might not install. I think we have a greater shot maybe at uninstalling Intel first and then doing Smart Byte. I could have that backwards. Intel Rapid Storage Technology. That's the one we want to get rid of. Uninstall. Yes. Good catch, Nick Tao. Thank you for pointing that out.
Smart Byte is installed by Dell then automatically.
Yeah. Yeah, but and because that's a recent one, and because we saw indications on the website about Dell fixing issues with it, whether it is currently causing troubles like the one that they showed may or may not be true. And that's another VIP ringtone from another client. All right. So this is be an interesting thing for viewers to hear about. An email from an attorney client of mine. For the people who are following the Tech Tales, this is the office that begins with the letter P. One of the attorney partners. He says, I received an email today on my phone. It was from our insurance agent. He was responding to an email I sent him earlier this morning. While this showed up on my phone, I never received it at the office. Is this something I should be concerned about? Meaning email not coming through. This client is very, very diligent at checking with me anytime he's got something that he thinks is suspicious. I think here he's just concerned that maybe his desktop computer is not receiving email. When I first read that, I thought he was suspecting a scammer. Okay, so we're on Intel Rapid Storage. Clicking in. I did not click on install yet, right?
I don't think so. Well, yeah. You did click on it and it brought up the pop-up and you said okay, but let's see if there's something behind
I'm going to do a refresh and see if it's still there. Yeah, it's still there. Try Alt-Tab, see if there's anything behind it. No. All right, we'll try that again. Answer yes. Waiting. It just went away without doing anything.
The same thing it did before.
All right.
Maybe you can't get rid of it.
Okay, I'm not highly worried about it. Seriously hard to imagine that would be causing a interference with 20H2, and if it won't install, what are you going to do? Well, certainly if after all the stuff that we're doing, if we still have failure of 20H2, maybe we can test uninstalling Intel Rapid on another Dell laptop. All right, so then coming back to the other one we want to get rid of, and I forgot what it was.
Smart Byte.
Smart Byte, thank you. Too many things running through my little brain right now. Uninstall. Answer yes. I see hello from Catherine. Hi, Catherine. Good to see you. And Ken saying hi to Catherine. Oh, Ed is saying we got buffering. Has anybody else got buffering? I'm looking at stream health. On my monitoring computer, it says stream is healthy. And my streaming computer, the CPU is at 37% and the GPU is at 30%. That looks pretty stable. Good numbers. Okay. So that guy is gone. Feels like we're just about ready to create that, use that media creation tool. Let's go delete the software distribution folder. Since we paused the updates, if you were to re-engage the updates, it would redo the download anyway. So what the content in the software distribution folder, as far as I know, would not give you any leg up to completing that. So I just did Control A here and delete all of it. Let's see, where are we at? 11:42. Have this some hellos. Catherine asks, what is the error code? Catherine, we don't have a specific error code, except that in the Windows Update error log, which is really long, has indications of failure to download from Microsoft. So our actions are all aimed at that type of a solution. Let's see, Nicktow says no buffering. Catherine says minimal buffering. Gary, Rivet Networking is now owned by Intel, but Smart Byte added to it. It has nothing to do with Intel. To do not use. To do not use. I'm thinking saying get rid of it. Gary says, did you get my email? Gary, if you sent an email during the stream, I don't think I did. I got your email earlier in the day when we were testing, and for those who didn't hear earlier, Gary Weisenberger and ATEX, which is Aaron, are both volunteered to, they both have my cell phone number and email address, and they're flagged as VIPs, so my phone should ring a tone if they notify me of things going wrong in the stream. Whoops, there it is, Gary. There's an email. And he says, channel has been great today. Thank you, Gary. And then is this another try? Cannot be completed because file is open in Windows Update. Really?
What I used to do when I was going to get rid of those, I would go into the services, Windows Update, and I would stop the service.
That's right. That's right. I totally spaced on that. Windows key R services.msc, enter. Click on any one of these, press the letter U, I think it is, for update service. No, Windows Update. It's Windows Update service. Scrolling down, Windows Update. Right click, stop the service.
It's got a lock on it.
Yes. and then Alt-Tab to go back to the software distribution folder. Click on one of them, Control-A to
Listen,
select.
if you double click the events log before you delete it, you're going to see all the errors I got there while updating. You can see some of the errors are pertain to the printer. You can scroll down.
I'm just wondering how this correlates with the
With the
update
other,
error log that we looked at earlier.
somewhere I found there, it said, I
Oh,
found
and look
some
at
errors there.
These dates are very different. So as we're scrolling down, we're getting to the more recent dates. So this does not correspond to the update log that we looked at the beginning of this video, because here, this is all that you have for the 13th,
Right.
for May 13th, right in this area. Agent detection finished. Scrolling out to the right. Windows Defender antivirus. Somebody asked if Windows Defender antivirus is active, and it should have automatically engaged once we uninstalled your antivirus product. Download succeeded. Yeah, I'm not seeing in here the brother errors you were referring
Up
to.
here. Hold on.
All right, go ahead and take the mouse. You got it.
Right here. Right here.
Oh, up here. All right.
Update error, HP printer, and then you get the other error.
All right. So let's go look at the left side of that.
I went into the log failure, content installation file failure. (20) 21/05/12. That was yesterday.
Yeah. Around a similar time that the 20H2 is trying to install, which makes total sense because when updates are trying to install, it installs tries to install all the pending updates.
So those are the only errors that I have seen in here.
Okay, you did not see errors in here related to 20H2.
If you go up 3 lines, it's got another update failures. Detection failed. If you go up 3 lines.
Oh, there. Agent detection failed.
And if you scroll to the right. See,
Update client failed to detect with errors. 2 different error codes there. Failure software synchronization. Update.
See, both of those printers are giving me an installation failure.
All right.
And I don't even have the printers anymore.
Yeah, and we've uninstalled all the software related to those printers, and the printer you do have is wireless.
Right.
So it's not connected. All right. Now, I think actually all we need to delete is the data store and or download folder, and I don't.
can delete the whole thing. I
think you can delete the whole thing. And when you've been deleting it, have you been deleting all of them, or have you been deleted the parent folder?
I've done it on different computers. I delete the whole thing and everything, when it reboots,
it
everything
all comes back.
The way it should.
Okay, so I'm doing a shift delete, which is permanent deletion. Let's see, looking at chat. Where did I leave? Delete the folder.
You got back to the same place. You have to go back to the services screen. Click cancel on that. Go back to the services screen. And here on Windows Update, let me get the mouse.
All right, you got it.
You have to actually disable this.
Disable from here?
Yeah, because it won't work if you don't disable it.
Okay.
You can go back and delete them, and now it'll work. Now it should work. Because I had the same problem, and when I disabled it, then it let me remove all the files in there.
All right. Let's see, Rob says, could a Microsoft update be successful with all of the utilities deleted?
Say continue to see what happens.
Now that was on data
There you
store, deleted.
go.
Yeah,
I should
so let's
deny it again. Why?
do all of the items.
I don't know why it's doing that, because when I disabled the whole thing, well, it deleted the first one.
Well, I think it's still working on it. That first time I clicked continue, I think it deleted that item, and then but I didn't do the check mark to say do this on all of them. So it says calculating right now.
Yeah.
Catherine says delete the Windows software distribution folder. She wants to delete the parent folder, which is fine.
There you go.
Do that too. Darren says, how is the cat doing? Is he asking about your cat, Luis?
My cat?
Do you have a cat, Luis?
Yeah, I have a couple of them. One of them.
Oh, you know what? He might be asking Catherine. Catherine says their cats are doing well. Catherine says I would stop WAUSRV, then remove the software distribution folder, then restart the update service. Gary to Catherine, hello, your name is longer than mine. Catherine says yes it is. Viz says those are protected folders. Catherine, I said the same just now. Ed, there is presently an automatic update happening on my computer. Viv to Gary, my full name is Vivian Irene Penhalurik. So I haven't tried my pronunciation for a while, Viv. Last time I tried your pronunciation, I think you told me to use a certain accent that I had no idea what to do. Penhalurik. How am I doing? Penhalurik. I can imagine a few other ways to do it, to pronounce it. Let's presently update. Catherine says, since I downloaded 21H1, I have no more issues with updates. So she's a seeker. And from Ben Laird says, hi all from Scotland. Hello, Ben, welcome. I think that's the first time I noticed your name today. Maybe the first time I've noticed your name at all. I don't remember it. All right. Deleting, deleting, deleting. All right, so I think next on our list is to go ahead and use the media creation tool to create that.
Well, we have to reboot the system again because there's something pending there.
Because what?
There's something pending to be uninstalled.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
We have to reboot it.
You're right.
The Dell utility, the Smart Buy utility.
The Smart Buy, yeah. Catherine saying stupid 20H2, they really made real chaos there. And Catherine saying hi to Ben. Catherine saying that she liked the video. Thank you, Catherine. What do we have for that? Let's see, we have 23 viewers. We have 7 likes. And stream is healthy. 11:09 was the last time we had a stream error. And I haven't heard back from that client. I wonder how he's doing with his system restore. There we go. Catherine issues the challenge to everybody. She says, all like the video, please. Thank you, Catherine. And Viv's, Catherine, to Catherine and me, I was busy counting the letters you can pronounce anyway. I often get it wrong. You can pronounce it any way you want. I often get it wrong. So she's saying that she often pronounces her name wrong, I guess. All right, their software distribution folder is empty. I'm going to go ahead and right click on software distribution just because I think it was Viv that asked for that, to actually delete that folder. And we could have just deleted that one straight out. And there it is gone. And I'll scroll down to the S's just to prove and show that software distribution folder is gone. There, it's not there. Now I use kind of a slow way to get there, and this is so long, so I'm going to demonstrate something. If I single click on one of these folders and then just type SO, that should take me straight to that area. And since there is nothing with an O, it didn't go to the O's, but it got me close enough to see that software distribution folder is not there. John Lewis says, I appreciate your content. Thank you, John. And Nick Tao, restart service. So he's saying that we should restart the Windows Update service.
Yeah, we have to restart it because it's disabled.
It's disabled right now. And Catherine says, better it is support Doug. Thank you. And did you like the video? Oh, she's directly asking John if he liked the video. Cool. All right, so let's minimize that guy and then get back to, here we're on services. Here's Windows Update. We'll right click on that, go to properties. And I think it was originally automatic, wasn't it?
Yeah, automatic. And then you can click start on it.
Yeah, and that is actually available. Oop, that start button, I'd have to apply first, then I could get the start button here. I'm kind of curious, did that actually create the software distribution folder at that point? We're at Windows, it's going to be
F5.
SO.
There you go.
Yep, it did. So it created the software distribution and only 2 of the subfolders. Those are probably not empty, but not a lot of content.
Right.
These are all just basic.
Click on the events log to see what we got in there.
Yeah, showing 1 kilobyte now.
It's nothing. It's just
absolutely empty.
Right.
And the download folder has some structure but no content. Okay. Right. And I want to make sure that we still have doing update space settings, that we still have the delay in place.
Yeah, you didn't get the little...
Yeah, right here. Updates will resume on 5/26. So that's still delayed. So we need to get our restart for that last uninstall of that Dell Smart Byte. So clicking on your Windows button, and then I'll see you in a minute and 12 seconds, I think it takes. All right. John Lewis says, yes, it is new content. When my Windows update failed, several restarts and the Microsoft Fix program always got me back on track. There's another attorney from that same attorney's office. John says, and yes, I've always clicked like. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If I haven't said it recently, I really appreciate all you folks being here and joining in on these live sessions. It's your assistance, your thoughts. It's really part of the whole strategy of this channel that we're working on issues together. If you line up 6 computer technicians in a row and ask them all to approach a particular problem, they'll all do it differently. There's lots of different ways to approach a problem, and the aim of this channel is to improve skills not only for you but for me. So I'm always learning, and if you call me out on something I'm doing wrong, I'm absolutely not offended. Launch remote control session. Rick Hubbard's here. Hello, Rick. And then go join a meeting. And again, I'm going to take his computer off screen to not show his other meetings. And join. And then put in the passcode.
There we go.
We are back.
Where are you live streaming this, on YouTube?
Oh, my channel is called LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts. I can show it to you on your computer. Were you gonna start watching it on another device?
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah, good. No, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I highly support that. So, let's see. I'm gonna show you that, and then you can copy it on your other device. So in the search field here, we do Live Windows Training. That's enough usually, without spaces. If you type this without spaces, it gives you this hit, even though it has spaces. Don't ask me why. That's just the easier way to get there. And then, so here it's not showing the live stream that's going right now. If you click onto the channel icon, and then it should show up right here real prominent. So you click on that on your other device, that'll get you there. I'll leave that on screen until you tell me you've found it.
Yeah, I found it, and Windows 10 refuses to install. Okay, I'm seeing the.
You got that? All right. So we're not going to close this. I'm just going to click up in the address. Well, you know what? I'm going to show one other thing while I'm here. As long as I'm showing things about my channel. Another way to get to my channel is YouTube. TUBE dot, if I can spell, .com / the acronym for my channel. Live Windows Training DougBetts, right? So the acronym is LWTDB. You can put that into the address bar without even going to YouTube first. Or you could highlight this and make it a favorite on your favorites bar, but when you press that, it takes you straight into my channel page. So just providing that as another way to anyone who wants to get to my channel. Then let's go to a blank line here.
The only thing I see is it's on this browser on a Linux computer. It looks very fuzzy.
Try changing your resolution. Go to the gear icon. There's probably a gear icon in the bottom right area. I imagine you're seeing it same as everybody else, even though you're on Linux. Change to a higher resolution.
Quality, it's 1080. Let me go down a little bit. Yeah, there, it's better now when I go, instead of 1080, I go down to 360 and it looks a lot better.
Wow, that's surprising. All right, I'm not going to make further comment on that because I just don't know Linux well enough to know what might be going on there. So let's get media creation tool running, and then I'll go catch up on chat. So I just do it by searching media creation tool. That always gets to Microsoft page. So here it's wanting to let you click right here for the 20H2 update, it looks like. That's not what we want. We'll download the tool. Waiting for that to stop blinking and then click to run it. Yes for the user account control. Is that memory stick in place now?
Yes, it is.
All right. Getting a few things ready. While it's doing that, I got Windows key E to go look at drive letter E. All right, looking at chat. Nick Tao says, yay, background stick. Oh, when you came back on, the removal of your virtual background.
Yeah, it's stuck.
That change stuck.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out, Nick Tao. From Bill Leatherland, good evening, everyone. Hello, Will. Bill, welcome, glad to see you. Catherine says hello to Bill. Blackwatch says, hey, Doug, in chat. No notification. Really? You didn't get a notification? Well, YouTube doesn't send out notifications it chooses when to send you notifications. If you're watching some other video, it may not send you a notification. If you're not watching YouTube at all, yeah, I think you should get a notification. But if you've got a lot of channels that you've asked for notifications, it's going to get a little selective about which ones it gives you. So there's a couple thoughts about that. Catherine again asked people to please like the video. I see that we are at 15 likes and 30 people currently watching. Rick says hello to Bill. Catherine says hello to Blackwatch. Blackwatch, how late am I? ATEX says the stream started a little over 2 hours ago. Catherine says she was late too. ZVI Manor, is this laptop an Inspiron 5559? Is it? Here I'm clicking on Create Installation Media instead of Upgrade this PC now. Click Next. Use recommended options for this PC. That's fine. You would want to remove that if you intend to use this USB memory stick for other computers that might not be these settings. Then clicking Next. If you want to install Windows 10 on another partition, you need to create and run the installation media USB flash drive at least 8 gigabytes. We're not going to do an ISO file. We're going to go straight to the flash drive. Clicking Next. And it only detects one USB flash drive. So there's refresh list. And I click on that one and then click Next. I don't think I had to click on it, but I did. Luis, oh, you're tapping in chat to me. Hi, Doug. I got the resolution to work correctly, cycling through all the options.
Yeah, I cycled through all the resolutions and it went back to the correct resolution again.
Okay, so ZVI Manor, to answer your question, I'm going into MS Info 32. And here we got Inspiron 5559, so yes it is. ZVI is asking, is this laptop Inspiron 5559? I'm really eager to find out why he's asking that. Is he asking that because he's also having problems with 20H2 on the same model laptop? Or maybe he knows the answer. So, ZVI Manor, I'm waiting with bated breath. Why did you want to ask that? And what does that mean to us? Okay, so I'm going to listen to a voicemail from that client that called in a moment ago. I'm going to mute my microphone so that it doesn't come over.
I'm here. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. The chat says CBI Manor, see my comment up.
Okay, let's see, progress 10%, and let's see, ZVI says, see my comment up. Catherine, yes, it's in Spiron 5559. Blackwatch was the error code, if any. I'll re-summarize that in a moment. I need to make a response to this client. Let's see, send a message. I should be able to call you back around 1:30 p.m. Period. Sorry for the delay. Period. Oops. I sent a text to his landline phone. That won't work. Copy that text message. Find his cell phone number. And paste. Send. Okay. Plug cell phone back into power. Now, let's see. See my comment up. Yes, Catherine. None of Blackwatch. Okay, so ZVI Manor, when you said see my comment up, I'm assuming you meant about, is it Inspiron 559? We've answered that. I still haven't seen your reply as to why you're asking. I'm very eager to know that. Maybe you've had this problem and you found a solution, or maybe you're here because you're hoping we're going to find a solution for your computer. 18%. So when this gets finished, Luis will start that upgrade installation. Right after we start it, I want you to disconnect from Wi-Fi. Actually, I can do those clicks. As soon as it's disconnected, of course, I lose the connection.
Yeah.
Although, actually, the other thing, no, I'm going to take that back. I want to end the remote connection, end the Zoom session and end the remote connection to your computer before you disconnect from Wi-Fi, so that the computer has terminated those two programs.
Okay.
Follow that?
Yep.
So once we're disconnected, you'll disconnect from Wi-Fi and let the installation continue. Now, are you able to come into the Zoom session from a cell phone?
I could try it. I have different computers here.
Or another computer, yeah. Do you have a webcam on another computer?
Yeah, I have another computer here.
Or actually, the other reason for a cell phone is that you'd be able to point it to the screen to show us what's happening. Now,
Okay.
we're not going to stay with it during the whole upgrade because the upgrade just takes too
Right.
long. But I kind of like to at least get a shot of what the screen looks like as it starts doing the upgrade. And then if you know, I think you have an idea of when that failure message comes up. If you're available and willing to try to snap a picture when that comes up, that'd be really nice to have recorded in a...
I'll try it because it's very fast.
Yeah, I know it's fast. And what I've done in the past is I've set up a cell phone or a webcam to watch the computer and just have it recording.
Right.
Of course, that doesn't give us a picture, that gives a video.
Take a video and then try to extract the frame.
Yeah, or even if you could play it back on your phone and just take a screenshot when that appears and send that to me by email if you're willing to go to that much trouble. I would very, very much appreciate it. I think it'd be an awesome thing to have documented on a YouTube video.
Yeah, I'm getting
the
Zoom software on my phone.
Pardon?
I'm downloading the Zoom app on my phone.
Oh, okay. Blackwatch says, Shirley Lewis has not set updates on a metered connection. I think that's safe. to say, particularly since, well, yeah, it is a download problem. Okay, well, let's go check on that. Trying to remember, metered connection, Windows key. I think it's even visible in update settings, isn't it?
It was off.
It was off?
Yeah, on metered connection, it was off.
Oh, download updates over metered connections is off, which means if your computer thinks that you have a metered connection, then it would not work. But we should get that, you should get that error message. So this doesn't prove that you're not, that your Wi-Fi is not set as a metered connection. This only says that if you are on a metered connection, do not do the download. So if we come down to your...
Now it's downloading it anyway, so it...
Yeah, it's downloading anyway. So I think the evidence tells us that, no, that's not the issue. But just because we are waiting for this to pursue anyway, let's go look at that. So I think over here on Wi-Fi, manage no network, hotspot, let me use online sign-in, hotspot, it's not what we're on, advanced sharing, change adapter options. Oh, it's on, oh, I know, it's not your Wi-Fi device, it's the Wi-Fi that you're connected to. I'm going to take you off camera here before I display connections in your area. So here I think it is properties, public private metered connection. Here it is, set as metered connection is turned off. So we know that this Wi-Fi that you're connected to, your computer does not think it's a metered connection. So that answers that subject. And on any particular computer that's having trouble with updates, that might be worth checking. ZVI Manor says, I don't see in Dell website that this laptop has tested for this update. Not too worried about that because I've done updates and Windows 10 installs on laptops that are not tested for it. Dell's not going to test for everything. It's just a really expensive thing to do. So not really concerned about that. Viv to Blackwatch, hi, I had to go get latte coffee and have now been awake for over 23 hours. What, you didn't get some to share with the rest of us? My gosh, Viv, 23 hours. I know you're in the middle of the night right now. Greg Guy says, hello, Doug, Lewis, and all in chat. Hi, Greg. I'm still owing you guys a summary update of where we're at because we're getting close to the end of this session.
Let
me
forward the email you sent me.
You're going to forward an email I sent you for what?
To my phone, to my email.
Oh, sure. I'm going to take you off screen while you go there just in case you punch up something that is personal. So ZVI Manor says, I reply was, I don't see in Dell website that this laptop has tested for this update. I cannot add URL link. Yeah, you can't add a URL link. You'd have to be a moderator to do that. At the moment, Catherine's the only one that's a moderator to do that. And that's because she does paste links. And I'm going to go ahead and make you a moderator so you can, but I just want to be sure you understand. I do not want you blocking people. I do not want you banning people from chat. I want to handle any trolls or haters myself. So you can use the moderator status to paste links, and I'm going to try to be more diligent about doing that when somebody asks for it. I don't need your name in blue to recognize that you're a regular on the channel because the channel's still small enough that I recognize your names. So ZVI Manager, I think you can paste that link now. And then Catherine says, I do not think so, Blackwatch. And Catherine says, hi to Greg. And ZVI says, sorry, I tried. ZVI ZVI says, don't make me blue. Really? You're serious about that? Don't make you blue? I want you to confirm that, ZVI Banner, if you want me to remove the blue. Maybe you said that before I explained my reasoning. Then Greg to Catherine, hope you're doing fine. I have a late lunch. It's 3:30 now. Okay. Rick, I'm still waiting for Amazon UK to get B460 HD3 motherboards. It's been out of stock for weeks. Blackwatch, 23 hours. Only espresso works for that. Haha. To Viv, I should know I was on call 24/7 way back then. ZVI Manor says yes. So I think you're saying yes to don't make you blue. Yeah, a single word answer is a little difficult to know what you're saying. So I'll go ahead and remove moderator. Oh, I heard someone ring in. What was that?
I got the phone working.
Oh, you got the phone working. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to need to mute and turn off your audio on one of those devices so that we don't get feedback.
Let's see where audio here.
Let's see, what do I have on screen now? Oh, I had that button wrong. Yeah, okay. So I took him off screen while he was pulling up email. Catherine to Rick says, and others. I'm not going to try to figure out what that's responding to. You guys are chatting, that's great, fine. 12:24 is my last chat.
Do you hear any feedback now?
Nope, I don't. You sound fine.
So it sounds good.
So once we shut down your computer, you'll need to unmute your phone and turn off the sound on your phone.
See if you can. Let me see if you can see my screen here.
Let's see. Let me go over here and show this. Okay, so yeah, you're showing the screen. That's visible on the video now.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, that's what we're showing through my remote connection anyway, so you don't need to keep your phone up right now. We'll come back to your phone later. We're at 64%. Blackwatch says, Doug, I have heard sometimes a repair install fixes update issues, but could be hardware incompatibility. Yeah, I'm with you on all of that. And yeah, and I'd have to say repair install is on our radar, and I'm gonna let you watch me go add that to my list of Windows Update checklist. Perform repair install. All right. Sam addressing Rick Hubbard. A lot of things are out of stock. I get a bunch of people that want to build a computer there, but they cannot because they can't get their hands on graphics card. And then Rick says that's the one I'm interested in. To Catherine. Catherine's asking what CPU, and to Rick Hubbard. So they're probably going to go back and forth a little while there on that subject, and that's fine. You guys are fine talking through that. So 12:27 is the last thing. Although I'm going to skip reading some of your responses back and forth to each other. So progress 70%. Now, what I owed is a summary of where we're at. We started out with looking at the Windows Update log, and the beginning of the video shows how to get to this Windows Update log, and I haven't seen anybody else focusing much on this, not in Google searches or YouTube videos. They might be out there, but I haven't seen it. So the process of pulling up the Windows Update log puts this icon on the desktop, Windows Update log. We double click that, and I'm going to maximize this and look at it for a little while, then we'll go back and check on our progress. So this is showing May 12th, which is yesterday, starting at 7:34 a.m. And it goes way down. I'm scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down. I think probably somewhere around halfway down. It switches from May 12th to May 13th. And we see some information, I think it was at the end of May 12th, that's implying that there were problems with downloading something from Microsoft's website. So I got the scroll bar in the vicinity of where the date jumps from 12 to 13, and here it is right here. So here's the end of the 12th. And as we go up here, there's some messages that doesn't look like anything particularly alarming, but then we keep going up and we get to this section of a bunch of failures. So it's this area of sequential failures towards the end of that update attempt that is really driving many of the choices that we're making right now. So here I'm going to highlight just this section of failed stuff. So here the first item is failed send request. Failed send request, send request. For all these fails for send requests, library download error. Library download error. And prior to these failures, making requests with URL HTTP SLS SCR. So SLS is an encryption designation. So it's trying to download from update.microsoft.com. And those items are failing. Well, we know that he's downloading from Microsoft.com because the update files get brought down to the software distribution folder. But during this portion of the update installation, we've got these downloads that are failing. So we've uninstalled a bunch of software. We've uninstalled VPN softwares, driver installation softwares, antivirus software. We've uninstalled everything that we could remotely think might be preventing, through some misbehavior, this download operation. And I underline misbehavior because those things shouldn't prevent the downloads from happening. On other computers don't prevent it, or maybe some of them do, but we just went after everything that we remotely thought might be an issue. And then another thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing this installation off of the USB memory stick while not connected to the internet, because some people have reported that has been a solution when connected by Wi-Fi. And I think I've even had that happen. So that's a summary of where we're at, and we're getting close to starting the update attempt, at which time we're going to end this live stream. And we possibly might, Luis, are you available for another live stream later today?
Yeah,
All right, so we might be coming on with another live stream today, or maybe even tomorrow, depends on what happens. So let's see, I see in chat some responses back and forth about motherboards and such. I'm going to skip over the link. All Amazon stuff, yeah. So all of the rest of that was specific conversation between Catherine and Rick and Sam. So I'm not going to read it. And Catherine again responding to Rick. So 12:33 p.m. in the chat is my last. Now, where are we at? 87%.
Yeah, I don't have the fastest internet service down here anyway.
All right.
It takes, it's a miracle that it's downloading. We're streaming video, we're talking, and we got a
Yeah,
couple
that's
of,
right. We're asking a lot of your computer. We're asking a lot of your internet right
right,
now. And this 88% is just downloading.
right.
That's not creating the memory stick yet. Although we already told it we want to use that memory stick. And I'm gonna ask more of your computer right now. Silly me. Windows key E to bring up File Explorer, and then Windows key left arrow to put that on the left half of the screen. And then, oh, that counter isn't even showing as one of the other windows that I can put on the right side of the screen. Alt tab, see if I can bring that back. Here it is. So we can keep an eye on that. Let's go look at that memory stick. Yeah, your old files are still on that memory stick, so it hasn't
Yeah,
started doing anything with the memory
it
stick.
hasn't done anything yet with it.
Yeah,
So it's probably putting the download in a temp area, and then once it's downloaded, it'll take care of it.
right.
You know, I live out in the countryside, and you know, it's a miracle. I have like 20 megabits of internet out here.
You have 20 megabits per second download speed,
That's it.
and you're in the country area of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, south of San Juan. I tried to upgrade my speed, and they say that's the max. We can give you 30, but it'll never go up to 30.
All right.
As a matter of fact, I contracted 30, but basically what I get is like 21, 22. That's about it.
All right.
I can't complain because it's working.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have business offices in my town that can't get better than that. I didn't want to. I got scrolled away from that completely, didn't I? Is there anything else in that that's of interest? Here it is. That's such a big file, it's hard to scroll slow. Yeah, I'll put that there. And bring that up. Let's see, I see some other things in chat. We are talking about a feature update. Yes, we're talking about 20H2. Luis is currently on 1909. So I don't remember what the date is for the actual end of life. I think we already hit it. Maybe it was May 10th or...
No, we hit it already.
We hit it already, yeah. And let's see, Catherine responding about motherboard. Viv, did you get that from software distribution folder? My computer, a log in there just shows the latest update from Dave. No, we did not get that log from software distribution folder. We got that. I guess I can come back and review that since we are in a waiting mode. So I'm going back to my Microsoft OneNote. And we got that from these two commands here. From PowerShell, it's a command called Get-WindowsUpdateLog. That is built into Windows. You don't have to download anything for that to run. So when you run that, it does some things. So you're in PowerShell doing that. And then the next command in PowerShell is setupdiag. And for Luis's computer, I had to, am I showing this? Oh, shoot. No, sorry, I'm not showing this right. I'll fix that. I see that. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. I'll restate this. So here, this PowerShell command is called Get-WindowsUpdateLog. So you just type that and press enter, and that runs a bunch of things on the screen. And then you need to run this next one called setupdiag. Now I'll put these commands in the description of the video. They're not there now. And you might have to download setupdiag. And Aaron is letting me know that you can't see my screen, and I think I already fixed that, right? Yes, I did. So that setupdiag, let's see, was where, let's see if we can just do search for setupdiag. I've got it here. MicrosoftWindows.com, ENUS, Windows Deployment, Upgrade Setup Diag. So let me get that in, I'll paste it. In fact, I should give you the page before that. Yes, I'll give you that page. So I'm coming over here to my other monitoring computer. Do that. And I don't have that connected. All right, so again, I'm going to go to, in the address bar, I'll type youtube.com/LWTDB, which is the acronym for my channel, LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts. And I'm going to bring up the video on this one and pause it, and I'll paste that into the chat. So here's a Control-C to copy that, click on the chat line and enter. And there you should have that in chat. And then I'm going to switch back to Luis's computer. There it is. So actually I should show one other thing is on that page. I'm going to come back to that page. So this page here talks about the Windows Update Log files. There's a lot of stuff there you can read through if you choose to, but really all that you need to do is, where do they have it? It's that command that I already showed you. Oh, Get Windows Update Log. Right here, they have this link right here. So I'll right click on that and show it in a new tab, and this tells you about that command, and it's just Get Windows Update Log. You don't have to do any of these parameters unless you choose to. Then, coming back to that first link, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and here they have a link for setupdiag. So when you click on that link, it has a download button for downloading setupdiag. So you click that, and then when you run that program, it produces a file on the desktop. I'm going to show it on Luis's desktop. So Windows key D to go to minimize everything, go to his desktop. It's right here called Windows Update Log. So at that point, you just double click on it, and it's a text file and readable in Notepad. So that is a full review of how to get to that Windows Update Log. And in my experience with it on my computer, it showed me several different logs of several different update performances. And on Luis's computer, we only saw today and yesterday. So I don't know how Windows decides how many logs to keep back in history. I'm guessing that it's probably since the last attempt for a feature update. That fits with what I saw on my computer and what we saw on Luis's computer. All right, so here we have creating Windows 10 media. Feel free to keep using your PC. We're at 55%. Alt-Tab, because I think we still, no, we don't. Oh yeah, here's File Explorer. Let go of the Alt key to bring up File Explorer. And I think that's a different name for the memory stick now, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, yep, there we can see it is writing to the memory stick now. I right click on it and choose Properties. There's 088 on use space. That didn't refresh it. Close it, right click again, Properties, still says 088. So it looks like maybe it's already written everything to it, or maybe it's pausing thinking about things. Oh, I don't see any chat. What's going on? Restore chat. Oh, I know, I don't see chat because I have it popped out. It's still there. Catching up on chat. From Sam, I got rid of Facebook 6 years ago. Catherine, just do reinstall from scratch. 20H2 is damaged. Dave, yes, this will just be ongoing issues. Catherine, Microsoft did it, the damage. Ed, maybe someday Starlink will be available. Blackwell, for that, I think that's for your internet speed. Starlink being the satellites. Blackwatch, repair, install, or refresh. Is this worth all the time? Not in my opinion. Blackwatch, you're completely right. This is not worth the time in a professional environment performing a service for a client. If we wind up finding a solution that could be usable to other people around the world, then yeah, it is worth the time on behalf of Windows users everywhere and on behalf of learning things. So, and that's what I'm wanting to do with this channel. I would never have done this type of work on a paying client's computer. Dave, mine installed fine in December and updates are without issue. That's true for most people. Catherine says 20H2 is a problem. Yeah, I think that's true with any major step forward. I'm suspecting Luis would have had the same problem with 2004, which was, you could say, is 20H1.
It never did get to 2004.
Say again?
It never did get to 2004.
Yeah, it never tried to do 2004 because 1909 never did do a force update to 2004 for anybody. For people who are on 1903, they could have jumped straight to 2004. And that's my deduction. I think from what I observed, that seems to be the way that it went. Gary Weisenberg says, anything going on at 341? 341. Well, we're at 341 in chat right now, depending on what time zone you're in. I'm not sure what that's referring to. Dave, where's Carrie with his thumb drive? I think he's promoting that as a solution. Blackwatch Elon says, feed me. LOL, that would be for Starlink, I think. Brew City, mount the 20H2 ISO file and install it that way. It's worked every time for me. Well, you know what? Just because something worked every time for you doesn't mean it's going to fix every outlying case. Everybody can tell me what worked for them. That doesn't mean it's going to fix everybody's problem. Did that update say MS will try to install later? Yeah, it's tried it over and over and over. Will it install manually from MS catalog? I think it's fairly safe to say no, that's not going to be the solution because that's going to have everything else still active. Blackwatch, I clicked hide chat. Sorry, just kidding. Not sure what that's referring to. Bruins44, hello all, just joining while I work. Welcome, Bruins. I think we're getting close to ending the stream, and I just finished summarizing what's going on, so I'm not going to do that again right now. Rob, what will happen with the next Microsoft update? Will he have to delete apps and drivers? I suspect not. Whatever's causing the problem this time, it's quite likely that fixing it to get into 20H2 is going to make him fine for the future. Gary says, could you show me the size of the system partition? We have done that a couple times, but I'll go back to that in a moment. Dave says, sorry, that was just for humor. I'm sure that's referring to something previous. Oh, the thumb drive. Okay, I got it. I did, yeah. Lance says, Blackwatch, once you have the USB media, you keep it for another PC with the same issue, or even to update other PCs in the future. Certainly, if Luis anticipates he might be doing updates on other computers, he would hold on to this USB since it takes so long to create it. And I have a couple over here in one of these drawers that are exactly that. And I've used them multiple times. So here we're at progress 99%. That's the cabling company I've talked about in Tech Tales videos. It's going to have to wait. Your USB flash drive is ready. Yee-haw. So that 088, I'm just curious to see if that number changed. I think that's in the same number we had before. Yeah, it did change. So it did grow even more. So somebody was asking for the size of the partition. So right click on the C drive properties. So it's a 1 terabyte drive with 258 gigabytes used. So we don't have a space issue, if that's why you were asking. And we've already been through a lot of stuff, so I'm not going to go back and review more stuff. We're ready to go ahead and start doing this. And Catherine responding to Bruce City that we created USB to do the update. So our plan here, let's do a finish button, is we'll start the update on stream, and then we're going to shut down the Zoom session and my remote connection. You're going to come back into the Zoom session on your phone. We're going to watch you disconnect from your Wi-Fi. Your Wi-Fi is built into the computer. I don't think you need to disable your Wi-Fi, just disconnect, which means your computer's not connected to the internet. Now, however, when you restart your computer's probably going to try to reconnect to Wi-Fi. Right? Your computer automatically connects to Wi-Fi when you start it up, doesn't it?
At some point it was doing that, but it's not doing it every time. I saw that the reconnect button here was not like this one. See?
All right.
Connect automatically. This one, for whatever reason, it's not connecting automatically.
Well, let's take a look at this. I'd like to try to prevent it from reconnecting. You obviously know how to connect your Wi-Fi when you choose to.
Automatically, it says off.
Yeah, so that's turned off. So you know how to come back into this and turn this on when you're wanting it. To finish to restore the computer, started back to the same issue. All right, and I'm got to go take care of this client too. So let's have you do this. Is after we disconnect the computer from the network, let's have you actually turn off Wi-Fi. That's going to prevent it from trying to connect again until you're ready to turn that back on.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, the client that did that system restore based upon my text instructions, he's back at the same point where he's just got a Windows logo and a spinning circle of death. Spinning circle of dots, if you don't want to be sarcastic. 30 minutes to call. All right, so you know the plan there. We're going to watch you do that through the cell phone, and then we're going to end the stream, and we'll come back later. So let's close your Google Chrome, and let's close your Notepad, and go into File Explorer. Gary, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go back into disk management partition again. We've been there. We need to get this rolling. All kinds of things says offline does not help. Well, maybe it didn't in your experience, but I do know people, and I have had it work, so it can help. Catherine says you could disable it in services. I'm satisfied with turning off Wi-Fi. I'm not going to disable it. Then, so here's USB, and here's setup.exe. And just because I can, I'll right click and choose Run as Administrator. I don't think that's needed. And close this. Please forgive me if I answer abruptly to some of your thoughts. I do want your thoughts, and I will take them at times, but at this point I have some client pressures on me right now, and we are in a position to get this started, and we've made significant changes to the computer, and we're going to go for this now. All kinds of things, maybe changing to another user would help. It did not solve my update problem from 1909. User account. Yeah, this computer has only one user account, and it's add administrator account, and I'm not going to pursue that on a maybe at this point. Not saying that that's not the solution. It's certainly possible, but I don't have a strong enough reason to jump ship and go to something else right now. Waiting. We are, almost to turn 3 hours.
Yep.
On this stream. So we're going to, we may be doing another stream later today or maybe tomorrow as a follow-up to this, or it's possible that the resolution of this, I just might put it in the description if that is fitting. I kind of rather do, if it's, whether it's successful or not, I'd rather do another live stream. I think it's a satisfying thing to show it's successful and be able to give a debriefing of that. This feels like it's taken a really long time.
There you go.
There we go. Progress. Something different. Preparing. Okay, so it's off and running. So it's time to get you back on the cell phone, disconnect the Zoom session from the computer, and pursue. Oh, we do have a couple things to click through. All right, we'll go ahead and do that. Change how Windows Setup downloads updates. Windows Setup will go online to get updates, drivers, optional features. These updates will help the installation go smoothly, can include important fixes. I actually don't want it to do that. We're going to say not right now. We're going to trust what's on the USB memory stick is recent enough. We do not want to help make the installation of Windows better. We're trying to reduce the amount of things that your computer is going to do during this process. and then next. Checking, getting a few things ready. And then accept. All right, a couple other things in chat. Catherine, I would back up, do a fresh install, put the data back on. Everything else is futile. Microsoft broke 20H2. I'm not sure I'm going to jump on board with that. I've got tons and tons of clients that are just fine on 20H2. It's working. All kinds of things. When I tried my offline update, my update was also much slower. Interesting. Viv says, how come the man in the hat does not have a username? What? Man in the hat. Oh, I know. That's one of the... Is there somebody in the chat? Man in the hat? No, all kinds of things. I don't know what Viv is referring to, man in the hat. All kinds of things. My guess it will fail at 61%. And you could be right. Okay, so install Windows 10 Home, keep personal files and apps, change what to keep. I'm going to look at that. Keep personal files and apps. So these are alternatives there. Keep personal files only means it would not keep apps. Nothing is going to wipe out everything. So we want to keep all that. I'm just going to hit back and then accept. Yeah, I should have done next. Next. Making sure you're ready to install. Oh, we are so ready. Blackwatch, would you image, see, and install again and see if that fixes things? A couple details left out of that question, I think. Here we get install. So that last couple of clicks was all from change what to keep. Clicking install. So here I think we're done with the questions. Your PC will restart several times. Might take a while. So let's go ahead and shut down our other stuff. Here's Zoom. I'm going to end that. Go ahead and join Zoom with your cell phone. Leave meeting. And then I'm going to switch to my control of the remote connection and end the connection. And end the connection there too. And then switch back to the Zoom session. And I don't see Luis on his phone yet. I think he's got to turn his camera on. So Blackwatch asks, would you re-image C and install again? So image C, are you saying create an image file on external media and then perform a full fresh install of 20H2? Yeah, that would work. Then you got to reinstall all your programs. He's got a lot of programs. So that's not a simple thing that you're asking for him to do, to reformat and install again. The man was 61% at the end of his last chat, is what Viv was asking for. I think you're referring to the username of all kinds of things. That is the username. It's 4 words, all kinds of things. And then Catherine says, now that gets interesting. All kinds of things. My name is all kinds of things. Blackwatch, I meant reinstall. If no fix, then restore image. And Blackwatch says yes, that is what he's referring to. Blackwatch, oops, so many programs is a toughie. Yes, it is. And people who haven't had a lot of programs on their computers don't understand sometimes how big of a problem it can be. Gary says, I think Blackwatch means to do a backup image before you do the update, and Luis does have a backup already. And Viv, I thought it was a comment. Yeah, she's referring to, yeah, his username, all kinds of things. It does look like a comment. I'm totally with you on that, Viv. Okay, so can you turn your cell phone sideways? And then show us what's going on. Can you turn the cell phone sideways? Yeah, there we go. That gives us a better view. Installing Windows 10. And what is that? Looks like a rectangle button there. I can't hear you. Are you on mute? Yeah, you're on mute. I'll click to unmute you. Whoops, no, that says mute. Now ask to unmute. Try again. Am I hearing you? Don't hear you. Might have to do with a microphone choice. Okay, let's not worry about that, Luis. We're done here. Go ahead and show us the screen again, and we'll go ahead and end this, and then you'll let me know later what's going on. So installing Windows 10, 0% complete, I think it says. Yeah, good enough. All right, not entirely sure it's a 0, but it doesn't matter. I think we're done here, Luis. Let's call this a wrap. I'm going to go ahead and end the Zoom session with you and do a short wrap up. Say goodbye to chat. And I'll tell you what, can you point the phone to you, Luis? And just wave bye-bye? Wave bye-bye to chat? All right, here we go. Goodbye. Silly Doug. All right, so here's the email address if anyone would like to reach out to me to do a session. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I see 27 viewers. I see 20 likes and just went to 29 viewers. 20 likes. I appreciate you being here so much. And I think there'll probably be another live session today. If not today, then tomorrow. And otherwise, you might check the description on this video to see what's up. So I hope that this video has been useful to folks. I'll catch you later. Have a great day. Goodbye.